Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're looking at something wonderfully specific and honestly uniquely captivating. Think about your kitchen drawer for a second. You know the one. It's probably got a chaotic jumble of things in there. Maybe a dull garlic press, a rusted pizza cutter, or one of those weird multi-tools that nobody actually knows how to use. We've all accumulated gadgets that promise to make our lives easier, but they really just end up taking up precious space. But have you ever wondered about the incredible lengths culinary professionals and really enthusiastic home cooks go to for absolute aesthetic perfection when they're dealing with a truly demanding ingredient? Well, today we're going to decode the anatomy of precision by looking at a hyper-specific kitchen gadget that absolutely justifies its existence. Prepare to look at your kitchen drawer in a whole new light.
So I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about your everyday kitchen routine. How do you cleanly open an egg the size of your thumb? Seriously, think about that for a second. If you try to crack a tiny quail egg on the side of a bowl or your countertop like you would a standard chicken egg, you're more than likely going to end up with a shattered mess of tiny shell fragments and a punctured, totally ruined yolk. It's a fundamental problem when you're dealing with miniature ingredients, and that exact puzzle is what our source material today so elegantly solves.
Section 1. A highly specific culinary mission. The challenge of the tiny, speckled shell.
Okay, let's dive right into this. To understand this tool, we first have to fully understand the obstacle it was created to overcome. Take a look at this beautiful, frozen moment of culinary precision. I want you to really take in the entire scene here. Notice the striking contrast between the intense, deliberate, mechanical action happening right in the foreground with the hands, and then those calm, perfectly finished, identical plates resting softly in the background. We're catching the exact moment of transformation, all facilitated by a highly unique tool. Here's the really tricky part. The crucial point is understanding the physical nature of the ingredient itself. This miniature speckled quail egg presents a completely unique engineering challenge. Imagine the delicate, almost paper-thin texture of that beautifully patterned shell. It's entirely too fragile for a heavy-handed crack. But quail eggs actually have a remarkably tough, rubbery inner membrane right beneath that delicate shell. Because of that membrane, it requires a perfectly clean, sharp break to get inside without tearing the fragile yolk apart. A standard kitchen knife, it just causes a mess. When you bring a straight, heavy knife edge down on a small, hollow, curved object like this, the physics literally work against you. The blade just tends to crush the structure inward rather than slicing through it, and that drives tiny shards of shell straight into the yolk.
Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of the Gadget. Engineering for a singular purpose. I absolutely love examining functional design like this, where every single millimeter of a tool is meticulously crafted for one job and one job only. The device we're looking at is officially defined as a precision egg shear. It's a specialized, scissor-like hand tool that uses a circular stabilization ring and a flat sliding guillotine blade designed specifically to decapitate tiny eggs. Make no mistake, while it has handles, this is definitely not a regular pair of scissors you'd find in your craft drawer. The entire geometry of this device is engineered around the specific, tiny, rounded shape of a small egg.
Now, what's really interesting here is the specific combination of these four elements working together in harmony. Let's visually break this down. First up, we have those ergonomic green plastic handles, providing a comfortable grip and the necessary leverage for your fingers. Second, the working end features stainless steel construction, absolutely essential for kitchen hygiene and long-lasting durability for sure. Third, look really closely at that circular bottom ring. Its sole job is to perfectly cradle the rounded shell, holding it totally steady. And finally, the flat sliding upper blade acts as a literal miniature guillotine for shearing. It's a beautifully simple yet incredibly specialized piece of hardware.
Section 3. The Mechanics of the Cut. A step-by-step forensic breakdown. Let's shift our focus from the static components of the tool to the dynamic action itself. I'll act as your guide through this exact microsecond frozen in time. Let's look at the action sequence to understand exactly how the mechanics play out. Step 1. The cook secures the base of the small egg, holding it gently but firmly from the bottom with one hand, and guides the narrow top directly through that metal stabilization ring. Step 2. They apply smooth, steady pressure to those green handles. Step 3. As the handles close, that flat upper blade slides clean across, shearing directly through the top of the speckled shell and that tough inner membrane. It's a micro-story of mechanical precision, really. The bottom ring prevents the delicate shell from crushing inward under pressure by giving it structural support, while the top blade does all the precise cutting work.
And man, this brilliantly illustrates the payoff. Look right at the center of the action. The clean shear has just taken place. Up in the top plate assembly, you can actually see the cleanly cut dome of the shell safely trapped above the metal. But more importantly, look at the bottom half resting securely in the cook's hand. It's a completely intact, vibrant, liquid yellow yolk sitting perfectly level with the newly created rim. There are no jagged edges. There's no broken yolk running down the cook's hand. It is just a flawless opening. Which brings us to Section 4, plating and a final presentation, the result of the right tool. With the mechanics now fully understood, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Let's guide our eyes away from the cutting action in the foreground and look deep into the background to see the ultimate purpose of this whole meticulous process. Think about the massive visual and textural contrast here. On one side of the equation, we have the rugged, delicate, dark-speckled exterior shell. It has a super high potential for creating a messy, unappetizing dish if it's handled improperly. On the other side, we have the pristine, vibrant, liquid yellow yolk revealed inside, which is exactly what the chef wants to showcase. This specialized gadget acts as the perfect, reliable bridge between those two states, guaranteeing that the chaotic exterior yields flawlessly to the clean, beautiful interior, without a single speck of cross-contamination from shell fragments. Just look at this incredibly satisfying visual setting in the background. We have a pristine presentation of 5 already prepped quail eggs resting gently on crisp, vibrant green lettuce leaves, all set against a minimalist white plate. Every single one of those tiny egg bowls has an identical, perfectly level, unbelievably clean cut. Think about the high-pressure environment of a professional kitchen during a busy dinner service. The stress levels are through the roof. This kind of uniform, high-end culinary presentation at scale is really only made possible, or at the very least, made incredibly efficient and stress-free because of this highly specialized piece of equipment. It eliminates one very specific point of anxiety for a chef, allowing them to focus entirely on flavor and execution. This brings us to a really fun realization: the pure satisfaction of a tool that does exactly one thing perfectly. It's wonderfully, unapologetically niche, isn't it? We all love to poke fun at infamous single-use kitchen items, the avocado slicers, the dedicated strawberry hullers, or banana peelers that just take up drawer space when a normal knife would do fine. But imagine dedicating precious real estate in your kitchen for a gadget whose sole reason for existence is snipping the tops off of tiny speckled eggs. Unlike those other gimmicks, this one is actually justified by the unyielding physics of the egg itself. When you look at those results in the background, when you demand absolute, uncompromised perfection for a dish, it suddenly makes all the sense in the world. It's the literal definition of using the right tool for the job. And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder the next time you're digging through your own kitchen tools. Does true culinary perfection require a hyper-specific tool for every single task? Or is the pure aesthetic satisfaction of that flawlessly engineered cut simply worth the drawer space all on its own? It really makes you think about the fascinating world of specialized design and how we interact with the tools we create to shape our world, even the absolute tiniest parts of it. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible slice of culinary engineering. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in our